Big. So came to Georgia around like 206 pounds, and now I'm like 232, 233 in that area.
Is that about the ceiling? I mean, you want to get any bigger, or is that about as much as
I don't know. I'm not trying to, just blow up. It just came naturally. So like therefore, I think I'll probably end up playing the season around like 230. I played last season around like 227. So I'm not really big until I need to be this or that.
how tough is it to maintain it during the season?
I would say the season is not that bad. It's more so maintaining throughout fall camp because that's when you're like, it's brutal and you're sweating a lot. So you're losing like 3 or 4 pounds a day and you have to put that back in your body. So that would be the main time.
Who's the best running back that you've seen in college? You've gotten to play for.
And I'll actually have to really sit down and actually think about that. I've faced a lot of great running backs, playing in the SEC and then playing in the bowl game. It was an awesome running back for TCU. So, like, there's a lot of awesome running backs I've played.
You feel like the second year in Kirby's system, you guys are going to be a lot better as far as knowing the keys?
Yeah, I definitely feel like we're going to be better the second year because, the first year you're kind of getting a feel for everything. Then that second year, you pretty much know everything, how is coach going to respond in this case, and different things like that. So I think that's big.
How is it different playing for Kirby than it was playing for Mark?
Well, they're two totally different guys, in their own right, and I think both are awesome guys. And I'm just, I enjoyed my time with Coach Rick, but I'm just more so focused like right now and like being that Kirby Smart is here, and I love playing for him.
But what's the biggest difference in their styles?
One's more. I would say Coach Smart just brings more intensity, but Coach Rick he's a special guy himself in the coaching field.
Coming here participating in this sort of on the bucket list for every coming to Georgia or any SEC school, is this one of the things you want to experience?
Well, I actually never thought about it, but I used to always see it, and I'm like, that's pretty special. You have to be pretty special to go there. But I just feel like it's a truly an honor to be here, just represent the university, the defense, and the linebackers. So it just means a lot, my family and whatnot.
A long way from Montezuma.
Definitely a long way from Montezuma. I'm not quite sure how far Montezuma is from like Hoover, so yeah, that'll be a GPS map or something I'll do after this.
Coach said y'all had a really physical spring practice. Is that one of the other differences between here and the way it was with the Rick? Or y'all a more physical team and our practice is more physical?
Well, I feel like we was physical. We have been physical always, but just getting more physical and different things like that. Even though I did not participate in the spring, watching from afar, I seen that everyone was like practicing more physical and like it was balls to the wall.
Roquan, what'd you get?
Tennessee, Tank game, Florida game, sticking in mind because we had the white game last year. The South Carolina game is a little further back on the schedule. Does that have any significance to you guys? Placement of that game or even that game in your ride?
Well, I think South Carolina is they have a great football program there, Coach Muschamp and whatnot. And I feel like they'll always be a solid team, so they're going to give us their best shot. Any team that you play, we're Georgia, so we feel like we're going to get any team's best shot. But, like, looking at that and, like, those teams that you mentioned, you have to keep that in the back of your mind when you're actually working out off-season training and different things like that. So you have a why behind what you do for sure.
Alex, you were playing defense against Jake Beeson. What were your primary concerns going into the game? How would you game plan for him?
Well, if I was playing defense against Jake Beeson, I'll hate to be a cornerback because he can let it rip about like 70-something yards with no problem. So like just running like that after a receiver, different things like that. So I'll hate to be a DB in a sense.
Where do you think he's progressed the most since he got over here, judging from what he did this spring?
Just his reads and whatnot, like he goes through things so much quicker, and like I've seen him progress throughout from like last season until like the spring, and I was watching from afar this spring, so I can really get like a first glance at him, and it was pretty impressive watching him grow the way he did.
Roquan, do you guys have any sort of references in your building at all to the way that Tennessee game ended last year? Any extra motivation, things like that, with the way that Hail Mary went down?
Well, pretty much every guy on the team know how that went down, in the Tennessee game. I don't think many guys can forget that, so that's always in the back of our head. But like each week in the weight room, we have something where it's like it's a team we're facing like this. These couple weeks we're facing this team, we're facing that team, so like that. But like everyone pretty much knows. I don't think many guys need a reminder for that because most guys know what actually happened.
Who are some of the guys in the offseason? You mentioned Jacob's improvement. Who are some other guys that you've seen and heard that have gotten better, you think, in the summer?
Well, I think as a team, we've gotten a lot better this off season and throughout spring and whatnot. But just trying to single out a couple guys, that'll be pretty tough because I feel like I'll be shortchanging a lot of guys because I know a lot of guys work their tail off and have been working their tail off this spring and summer.
Any of the freshmen that have been impressed so far?
A lot of the freshmen, man, just seeing them coming, participating in team runs, conditioning, the guys are relentless and they're working their tails off and just taking advantage of every opportunity that are thrown their way.
How about Richard now?
Oh, he's pretty nice, so he early enrolled, and I thought he was, trying to get a feel for things throughout the spring and whatnot, but I think he's going to be really special.
How impressed are you with the way that Sonny and Nick handled their relationship, in terms of sharing the ball? These are two 5-star studs. You probably expect to be good guys.
Yeah, I guess they would just say that speaks highly about who those two guys are as a person or as an individual and whatnot, and just their character and whatnot. But I think those two guys are special and they respect each other and they know that we can all get something together.
How much kind of influence does that have on the overall team?
Well, it has a huge influence because once those guys are like that, so you're like, hell, it's Nick and Sona like this, so why can't everyone else be like this? But we're not a selfish team or anything like that. So those guys, love each other and they love what they do. So.
Surprised to see Nick come back and Sonny said.
Well, yeah, I was surprised in a sense, but it surprised me. But I feel like Nick wanted to come back and finish something what he started. So I think it'll be awesome this year, and he knew what we had in store for this upcoming season.
Roquan, you guys are playing Mississippi State. They got Chauncey Rivers, Jonathan Abram. Have you kept in touch with any of those guys? What's it going to be like to see them?
Yeah, I actually seen Chauncey a couple weeks back, and I talked to Jonathan just over the internet or whatever. But that'll be pretty big. Facing two of your former teammates. So that'll be pretty big. I'm excited for those guys. Happy they got a new opportunity at where they're at, and just to be excited to play them again.
Did Chauncey talk to you about the year at JC and living that life?
I actually didn't talk to him much about the JC life.
You guys have really controlled the series.
Last question for the student athletes. Last
Is that
question.
something you guys recognize going into the game when you have a win streak over a team, or a time
Well, yeah, going into every game, it's just we're giving our best shot. So regardless of the opponent, if it's whoever it is, we just feel like we're gonna give our best shot. So
Roquan, do you remember the last time? Do you know the last time an SEC East team won the league was? Just off the top of your head.
Just off the top of my head, I'll actually have to think about it.
It was 08. I counted up 2008.
2008.
Yeah. What's it going to take for the East to break through and beat the West?
Well, it's just going to be, playing our best game and, just taking it one game at a time and just playing our best game once we get there. But we can't just jump ahead to that.
I agree, but do you hear people talk about the West is all this and the East is not? Do you hear that stuff sometimes?
Excuse me, but you hear that, but I don't pay much attention to that because, we control what we can control.
Sure.
So it is what it is, and I'm not really all caught up into the
You don't get tired of it or not enjoy it or whatever.
Well, I rarely hear it, to be perfectly honest, where I'm at.
Okay.
I asked the other guys this question, but favorite weight room music and least favorite, and who puts what on?
All right, so we actually have the strength and conditioning staff actually DJs or whatever, so he have it on his phone or whatever, Spotify. So I would say the favorite song, it's controlled by one guy mainly, and you can make requests or whatever, so play what you want. And so the favorite I would say is probably Pass the Charge. The least favorite, probably, no offense to anything, but it's probably some, when it's some R&B maybe, just slow like that, because that's kind of not the move when you're
Thank you.
Coach had compared you to C.J. Mosley. Do you like that comparison? Is there anybody that you try to model your game after?
Well, that's an honor to be compared to a guy like C.J. Mosley, a guy like that, 3-time Pro Bowler, SEC Defensive Player of the Year, and different things like that. So just being compared to him. But I try to model my game. I try to get things from each and every guy who I see that's actually great at what they do. So I'm not just going to say one guy in particular that I like just model my game after.
Did you play with Shaq Wiggins at Georgia?
I did not.
It was before. He had already left. Okay. All right. Thanks, Roquan.